we will discuss 5 finance skills that you should start learning in 2025 if you want to make a career in finance in future. In fact, if you want to enter any management role, skill 1, 2, 4 and 5 will still be relevant for you even if you want to enter into consulting, marketing or finance or whatever it is. And simultaneously, we will also discuss the resources from where you can learn these skills. So skill 1 is the foundation of any finance skill that you want to learn in future or any finance role that you want to enter. This skill is the most important, and that is understanding of financial statements. Financial statements are basically your balance sheet, income statement and cash flow statement. So these three financial statements, you need to have an in-depth understanding how to read these financial statements, what are the important metrics you can get from each of these financial statements, and most importantly, how to practically understand the different metrics that are important for a business from these particular financial statements. I've seen a lot of BCom graduates, a lot of finance graduates, before coming to an MBA program or once they have made it to an MBA program, they still don't have practical understanding of how to read it, how to read these financial statements for a real company, and how to draw business insights out of it. And that is a skill that you would need in finance. It's not only about just knowing the theory, how to make these particular financial statements, how to make the entries. You're given a particular problem and you just solve a numerical problem. That is how usually it is taught in undergraduation. However, there is much more than that. You need to be able to analyze a particular company's financial statement and understand the financial health of the company through that. And if you don't like financial statements, if you don't like reading financial statements, my suggestion would be to not enter the finance career itself, because everything that you do in finance, every skill that you learn in finance in future as well, financial modeling, valuation, whatever it is, you would need the aspects of financial statements. And whichever role you enter in finance, this is a core thing. You need to analyze your financial statements of your company or other companies as well, and this is a core skill that will keep coming back to you even while you're working. So if you don't like financial statements while you are studying, please avoid finance roles, because you will not be able to do good in any of the finance roles if you don't understand financial statements well. And if you want to learn about financial statements and practically understand financial statements, there's a good news if you're watching this video before 1st of August, because we have launched a masterclass on MBA Circle, the registrations for which will be open till 1st of August, because there are live sessions for this particular course that start from 2nd August. There will be 4 live sessions, 2 hours each, that you will go through. And even if you do not want to go into the live classes, you can access the resources in a self-paced manner for the next 6 months. You can access all the recordings for the next 6 months and you can pursue it in a self-paced way as well. So this is a certificate course where you will be taken through absolute basics of financial statements. If you have never seen financial statements before, if you have no prior knowledge in finance, then also it's absolutely fine. In session 1, you will be taken through absolute basics of financial statements, and subsequently you will also be taken through practical learnings. That is, you will be reading financial statements of a real company, understanding the financial statements, the different line items that a real company has, because this is the kind of practical skill that you would need in any company that you apply for a finance role. And you can submit your own assignment analyzing a real company's financial statements, and this will help you build a portfolio for your jobs as well. And definitely after this, the certificate can add value in your profile. And this course is taken by Yugantar Gupta, who is an IIM Ahmedabad student and a chartered accountant and a company secretary as well, and has taught thousands of students. So I'll put the link in the description as well as in the pinned comment. If you want to register, remember you need to register before 1st of August. And in case you're already a bit ahead in the race of financial statements, that is, you know the basics of financial statements, you know how to make balance sheets, cash flow statement, income statements and everything, but you have never analyzed a real company, then I would suggest you can go to a particular website, that is Screener, type in a particular company's name, for example Asian Paints or maybe Berger Paints, or any company that you want to check into, maybe Infosys, TCS, whatever that is, and you check their balance sheets, income statement and the cash flow statement. Try to see the interconnectedness between these three among these three financial statements. At the same time, also see the different line items that they put in their balance sheet, cash flow statement and the income statements. And the next skill that you need to cover here is on financial modeling. Now there can be different ways of doing financial modeling. Discounted cash flow model you can build to understand the future cash flows of a company, based on which you can be doing a lot of analysis. There's leverage buyout method. On the basis of this, you will be also be learning this when you do valuation. If you are a project manager and you want to anticipate the financial health or the return that you can get from a project, then you will be doing your cash flow projection for the future, and on the basis of that you will be doing your NPV analysis, ROI analysis, IRR analysis, break even point analysis, your payback period analysis, whatever that is. So you'll be calculating these metrics. At the same time, you could be doing this scenario analysis or a sensitivity analysis to understand the impact of different metrics on the financial health of a company. So all of these are things that you need to learn under financial modeling. And to learn financial modeling, there's a particular course on Coursera that you can do. It's a very good course provided by University of Pennsylvania. So if you want to audit the course for absolutely free, you can do that. If you do not need the certificate, then you can audit it absolutely free. But if you need the certificate, then obviously you would need to pay on Coursera, and the courses are a bit expensive as well. It can go upwards of 10,000 as well. However, if you want to just do for knowledge, you can audit this course for absolutely free and buy the certificate later in case you want to. But it spending more than 10,000 on a particular certificate might be a bit expensive. Or you can also access this particular website, that is CFI, Corporate Financial Institute website, and you can do multiple courses here as well. Again, I would suggest you audit the courses for absolutely free. The certificate, if you want the certificate from here as well, it will be a bit expensive. The lowest price course as well, I think, will be above a 4,000, 5,000. So first audit the course for absolutely free, and then if you are very sure that you want to pursue a career in finance in future as well, then I would suggest then you can go for the certificates, for these expensive certificates, and then put it on your CV. Next important skill is on valuation, and this is a skill very advanced professionals in finance would need. If you are in any other management role like consulting or marketing, you would not need valuation skill of doing valuation for a particular company. It's only for finance professional, especially those in, say, investment banking roles, private equity roles. They would need to, and corporate finance roles as well, they would need to go through this particular skill definitely. So what exactly is valuation? As the name suggests, through this particular skill, you value a particular company. That is, what is the right price and the right valuation for a particular company. For example, in Shark Tank, if you watch Shark Tank, you would have seen some a company comes and tells that, okay, we will give you we want 10 lakh rupees for 1% of equity. So what does that mean? 1% of equity, if you convert it into 100% equity, just multiply 10 lakh by into 100, what you get is 10 crore. So the valuation of that company is 10 crore. The company is valuing itself as 10 crore company. So that's why it is asking a 10 lakh rupees for a 1% share. And how do you arrive at this 10 crore number? That is what the valuation skill teaches you. That is how you have, if you're trained on this particular skill, then you can value a particular company perfectly. And there are again different methods that you can do valuation from. There is DCF modeling. As I said, you do a DCF analysis. On the basis of that, you measure the particular valuation of a company. Or there are many other methods, leverage buyout methods, as I said. After that, there's PE analysis as well, that you just use a PE factor and understand the valuation of a company. Many different factors that you can use. But obviously, before that, before applying these models, you have to learn a lot of other skills as well. That is weighted average cost of capital, what is the cost of debt, what is the cost of equity, how to calculate those. And it's a very, very detailed course. And the best way to access this is not any other course on any platform or anything, but it's a simple YouTube channel that you can access. And he's a god of valuation, or you can say the god of finance. Everyone in IIM Ahmedabad as well, when we were there in IIM Ahmedabad, everyone used to follow this particular YouTube channel, and that is a YouTube channel by Ashwath Damodaran. So you can just go to the professor's YouTube channel, just search for the valuation classes. If you're an absolute beginner, if you're doing the valuation classes for the first time, then I would suggest you go for the UG, the undergraduation valuation programs. And if you're already a bit advanced, then I would suggest you go for the MBA valuation classes. So both the classes would be available for undergraduation and for MBA students, and you can choose accordingly which one would be more suited for you. But that is something, obviously it's a bit difficult to follow the lectures because it was taught in a particular classroom setting and the video quality is probably not top notch. But at the same time, what I would suggest is it's a great asset. If you can stay focused and watch the entire video, it will take you end to end through entire valuation series, and that is good enough skill to add in your valuation. Everything that you want to learn under valuation will be taught through this particular YouTube channel. So I would definitely recommend you, if you're very interested, if you've already covered your financial statements, then your financial modeling, then go to this YouTube channel, start learning valuation from Professor Ashwath Damodaran. Next important skill is data analytics. And if you want to be good at financial modeling, you have to be good at data analytics as well. For example, you know how to build a financial model, but you need to actually build that on a platform as well. And most likely it will be a tool like Excel only. Most investment banking professionals as well rely on Excel for building their financial models. So no matter which field you are in, Excel is very important, and data analytics is also very important. And it's not only about knowing the basics of Excel, but you have to know certain advanced functions on Excel, especially if you're in a role like corporate finance or investment banking or so. So you have to know functions like offset, indirect functions, name ranges. Those are commonly, very, very commonly used in investment banking. What if analysis, using solver on Excel, doing dynamic charts, doing drop downs, dynamic charts for building dynamic dashboards on Excel. At the same time, VLOOKUP, index match, pivot tables, these are very basic ones that you obviously have to know. So these are certain most commonly used functions that you need to know on Excel for any roles, investment banking, especially corporate finance, or any management role itself. You need to know Excel. But yes, in finance, you would be most likely using Excel on an everyday basis. And how to learn this skill? There is a free channel on YouTube, Trump Excel, from where you can learn everything in on Excel from basic to advanced level. Trump Excel, this is one channel from where you will learn everything, whichever function you want to learn, you can just learn it from there. And if you want to learn very specific functions, you can just type that on YouTube and you will find a related video. So everything that you need to learn on Excel can be learned on YouTube itself. And Trump Excel is a great channel if you want to rely on one complete channel from where you will get all the functions. So this is one way of doing it. Now, if you want to practice on data sheets on Excel, if you want to practice business cases as well on Excel, so we have also designed a course on Excel. Here, most of the functions that you have, you will get freely on YouTube as well. If you want to learn about the different functions, you will get mostly on YouTube. However, these are certain functions which I have basically shortlisted, which are commonly used in roles like consulting, in roles like finance. These are the most commonly used functions. So I've combined those functions so that even if you have not referred to YouTube, you can just watch the videos, learn those particular functions at least, and at the same time, you can practice those functions on business cases. So those are the kind of business cases that you will be working on when you're working in the corporate. So how to mix and match different sheets, how to draw business insights out of it. That is the real skill that comes in handy on Excel, and that is exactly what we are giving certain. We have certain assignments that you will be going through after learning the functions. Obviously, you will be going through those certain assignments, and once you solve those certain assignments, then you will be very confident about how to mix and match different sheets, how to bring data from different sheets and make business sense out of it. So that's how the course might come in handy if you want to access my course on Excel as well. However, if you just want to learn the functions, obviously the YouTube channel is more than enough. You can just refer to the YouTube channels, and in my course, obviously you will get a certificate as well, and that is also priced at just 999 rupees. So if you want a low priced Excel certificate, a course which will give you a certificate on Excel, then that course will definitely help you. Remember, we are not teaching VB or anything on the course. It's more focused on management professionals, roles like data analytics, consulting, finance, marketing, and so on, as I have already said. So it's focused on functions for those particular skills. Yes, we are teaching how to build dynamic dashboards, dynamic drop downs, and so on, offset, indirect functions, how to use those name ranges, pivot tables, and everything. But the idea is, if you want to learn just the functions in Excel, even though it's my course, I will still suggest please refer to YouTube. You need not refer to any course for Excel. On YouTube, you will literally find everything. So if you just want to learn the skills, please go on YouTube, search Trump Excel is a great channel. Other channels are also there. If you just type the specific function name, you will find multiple channels on Excel that will teach you the skills. If you want to buy my course, it will be more focused on if you want to practice on data business cases, on data heavy business cases. If you want to practice how to draw business insights from data, then you can take the course and probably that will be useful for you. Next very important skill is industry analysis, or you can also call it macroeconomics. Now, what you have to do for this particular skill in any finance role, it's not only about the company's metrics. You also need to analyze the industry, not the only the numbers of the industry, but also the qualitative aspects of it. For example, suppose you are in the paints industry or you are in the IT industry, you need to understand the macroeconomic factors. That is, what are Trump's policies, how that can impact the particular industry, IT industry, or any other industry as well, and what are the different geopolitics, how are the different geopolitics playing in your country, how that can affect the country's economy, how is your country's economy doing overall, how that can affect the company's valuation. So all of those aspects, looking at the macroeconomic aspects, is also something you have to know, you have to understand. You basically have to understand how a particular event in anywhere in the world can affect your company, and that is about macroeconomics, and that is about drawing industry insights as well. Now, to learn this skill, there is no particular course you can do. Obviously there are courses on macroeconomics and something you can do, but the most impactful thing that you can do for learning this skill is reading the equity research reports. That is, if you go to any a lot of these securities like Motilal Oswal is there, these ICICI Securities, Kotak Securities, all of them publish their equity research reports. That is, what they do is they produce either publish either for a particular company, or they publish for an entire industry as well. So they will publish, say for Asian Paints or TCS, they have published a valuation report, that is whether they should buy the stock, whether someone should sell the stock, whether someone should hold the stock. And in that particular report, they would have listed all the macroeconomic factors, industry factors, company factors as well. And in case you come across any industry analysis as well from any of these securities or any of these brokerage firms, then also you can read those reports. That will give you an end-to-end idea about that particular industry. So I would definitely suggest you pick one industry, any one industry, and try to pick different companies within that industry and read the equity research reports that different securities have published for the company. They make stock recommendations, buy, sell, or hold, and on the basis of that, on that particular report as well, they have many microeconomic factors on the basis of which they are making their suggestions. So please go and read that. And apart from this, there is another document that you can read, and that is the DHRP, that is the draft red herring prospectus, that companies usually file before their IPO. For example, if you just Google SBI cards DHRP, any company which has recently filed for an IPO, whichever industry you want to analyze for, just search for a particular company who has recently filed for a DHRP and who has recently filed for an IPO, and read their DHRP. It's a great prospectus, like it's a very, very detailed report. So it's much more elaborate than the equity research reports itself. So equity research reports, if you find certain data points, in DHRP you will find a complete industry analysis, a complete competitor analysis as well. And it's a great insight. You will know about market share of different companies, you will know what are the different factors, what are the different factors that will contribute to the growth of the industry, and that will help you understand why a particular company, what are the different factors and the metrics that a particular company is giving stress on. And that's a great document to read. So these two things you can read if you want to understand about how to analyze an industry and how to understand about macroeconomics, any equity research report, or even this draft red herring prospectus, that is the DHRP report of any company that is filing an IPO. So those are the 5 skills I wanted to cover in this video. If you want a similar video for any different domain as well, for example marketing, consulting, then do let me know. I'll be happy to address it. And that's it for this particular video. See you in the next one.